You've heard it all your life. Eat your vegetables. They're good for you. But what if that advice is quietly betraying you? What if, hidden beneath those vibrant colors and healthy labels, some vegetables are silently fueling the very things you're trying to avoid? Spiking your blood sugar, triggering joint pain, weakening your kidneys, and accelerating the aging process from the inside out. And the most dangerous part, you don't feel it until it's too late. Because after 60, your body changes. Your digestion slows, your hormones shift, and your cells lose their resilience. Foods that once nourished you may now be doing silent harm. And the vegetables you trust the most, they might be the ones quietly robbing you of your strength, mobility, and peace of mind. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. You'll discover the 4 vegetables you must avoid after 60, and the 4 powerful ones you should eat daily to stay strong, sharp, and independent. But first, if you've been feeling this too, not weakness, but a quiet question rising inside you, then stay with us. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. It means growing wiser, stronger, and still moving forward. One smart choice, one better meal, one stronger day at a time. Now let's begin. Because the first vegetable on this list may be sitting in your kitchen right now, and sweet as it seems, it could be silently sabotaging your blood sugar, your heart, and your future. It looks innocent enough. Golden, warm, comforting. You find it in summer cookouts, tossed into soups, tucked inside stews, or served straight off the cob with a smile. But for older adults, corn is not a treat, it's a trap. Because here's the truth. Corn is one of the highest glycemic vegetables you can eat. That means it sends your blood sugar skyrocketing faster than some breakfast cereals. At first, you might not notice, maybe just a wave of energy, but behind the scenes, your pancreas scrambles to release insulin, trying to catch up. And if you keep eating it regularly, that insulin response starts to break down. Your cells stop listening. Blood sugar stays high. And just like that, you're on the road to insulin resistance. The silent prelude to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and kidney failure. A 2020 study in diabetes care followed older adults who frequently consumed high glycemic vegetables like corn. The result, a 46% higher risk of cardiovascular disease, especially in those already struggling with weight fatigue or high blood pressure. But that's not all. Corn isn't just sweet, it's everywhere. It's in canned corn, creamed corn, frozen mixes. It's ground into flour, hidden in tortillas, wrapped around fast food. And let's not forget high fructose corn syrup found in over 60% of processed grocery items. So while you think you're just enjoying a harmless cob of corn, your body might be drowning in it. Worse yet, corn gives you energy spikes followed by crashes. And for older adults, that roller coaster is exhausting. You eat, then feel foggy. You move, then ache. You try to rest, but your system is still recovering from the last blood sugar surge. And here's what most people miss. Corn is cheap fuel, but it's not clean fuel. It burns fast, crashes hard, and leaves your body inflamed and unstable, especially if you already deal with fatigue, memory issues, or blood pressure problems. It doesn't mean you can never have corn, but it should be a rare indulgence, not a weekly staple. Swap it out for cauliflower. Low glycemic, high in fiber, easy on the gut. Zucchini. Gentle, hydrating, and blood sugar friendly. Green beans, full of antioxidants and digestive enzymes. And skip the processed versions. No canned corn with sugar. No sweet corn mixed into pasta. No microwavable butter-drenched variety. If you do have corn balance, pair it with lean protein. Add healthy fat like olive oil or avocado. Combine with low glycemic greens to soften the blood sugar spike. Because after 60, every bite counts. And in the case of corn, What seems sweet can turn bitter very quickly. They sit on your plate like old friends, mashed with butter, fried to golden perfection, or simply boiled and sprinkled with salt. Potatoes feel safe, familiar, comforting. But for older adults, comfort can be deceiving, because beneath that soft texture lies a harsh reality. Potatoes are one of the most blood sugar spiking foods seniors consume daily. When you eat a potato, something dangerous happens fast. Your body converts its starches into glucose almost instantly. That glucose floods your bloodstream, triggering a rush of insulin. And if you're over 60, your cells may not respond the way they used to. The glucose lingers, insulin overcompensates, and suddenly you're on a crash course with weight gain, insulin resistance, and energy slumps that seem to hit harder every year. In a massive study published by the British Medical Journal, researchers tracked over 70,000 adults for more than a decade. They found that those who ate potatoes 4 or more times per week had a 33% higher risk of developing high blood pressure. Why? Because potatoes don't just spike blood sugar, they offer very little protective nutrition in return. They're low in fiber, low in antioxidants, and high in empty starch. And most of the time, they're cooked in the worst ways possible. Let's be honest. How do most people eat potatoes? French fry, hash browns, potato chips, mashed with buttercream and salt. When exposed to high heat, as in frying potatoes, produce acrylamides, a toxic chemical linked to nerve damage and arterial inflammation. Pair that with high sodium, and now you've got a dish that strains your heart, stiffens your arteries, and bloats your kidneys all at once. Even boiled potatoes cause fast blood sugar spikes, especially without their skins where most of the fiber lives. And after 60, your metabolism slows. Your energy dips. Your ability to handle blood sugar surges is no longer what it was in your 30s or 40s. What once gave you comfort now may leave you bloated, tired, and inflamed. You don't have to give up the feel of potatoes forever. You just need better alternatives. Sweet potatoes, lower glycemic index, higher in fiber and antioxidants. Cauliflower mash, creamy, comforting, and blood sugar friendly. Butternut squash, naturally sweet, rich in beta-carotene. And if you do eat white potatoes, keep the skin on. Roast or bake, never deep fry. Avoid pairing with cheese, butter, and salt-heavy toppings. Eat them as a small side, not the star of the plate. Remember, after 60, your body is constantly asking, will this food help me heal or make me hurt? And when it comes to potatoes, the answer often depends on the form and the frequency. It's colorful, it's elegant. It shows up in Mediterranean dishes, grilled on summer nights, or baked into casseroles that feel light and healthy. But eggplant, despite its reputation, carries a dark secret, especially for seniors dealing with joint stiffness, nerve pain, or chronic inflammation. Because what most people don't realize is this: eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, and that family can be a hidden trigger for pain. Eggplant contains natural compounds called alkaloids, particularly solanine and nasunin. These chemicals act as the plant's defense system. But inside the human body, especially one over 60, they can cause trouble. Solanine and similar compounds have been linked to joint inflammation, digestive irritation, worsening arthritis symptoms, nerve signaling interference. In a 2021 study published in Frontiers in Pharmacology, researchers found that high alkaloid consumption may increase oxidative stress, which in turn accelerates tissue breakdown in sensitive individuals. For older adults already managing rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, muscle stiffness, nerve-related fatigue or tingling, eggplant might quietly be making things worse. The tricky part is the symptoms don't scream eggplant. They creep in slowly. You eat a seemingly healthy dinner baked eggplant grilled with herbs, and the next day, your knees throb. Your hands feel stiff. You wake up foggy, fatigued, a little more swollen than usual. But you blame the weather, or age, or overexertion. Not the purple veggie on your plate. That's how eggplant slips by. Not dramatic, but cumulative, a quiet aggravator of inflammation, especially when eaten regularly. Eggplant has a sponge-like texture. When you fry it, as is common in many recipes, it soaks up oil like a towel. That means you're not just getting alkaloids, you're getting heated seed oils, often inflammatory, excess calories, added oxidative stress. For someone in their 60s or beyond whose body already struggles with inflammation control, this combo is like pouring fuel on a low, persistent fire. If you love eggplant, moderation is key, but preparation matters even more. To reduce its inflammatory load, slice it thin. Soak in salt water for 30 minutes, draws out solanine. Peel the skin where most alkaloids concentrate. Bake or steam instead of fry. Pair with anti-inflammatory ingredients like turmeric, ginger, or leafy greens. Still, if you suffer from joint pain, stiffness, or swelling, try removing eggplant for 2-3 weeks. Many seniors report dramatic improvements in mobility and pain levels. Because sometimes it's not what you're missing, it's what you're unknowingly including. Tomatoes by themselves are not the villain. In fact, fresh tomatoes can be wonderful, rich in lycopene, vitamin C, and antioxidants that support the heart and immune system. But there's one version that quietly turns this healthy fruit into a hazard: canned tomatoes. And for people over 60, this everyday pantry item can be far more dangerous than it appears. Why? Because canned tomatoes combine two silent threats: acidic food, chemically lined metal containers. Together, they create a perfect storm inside your body. Most canned goods, including tomatoes, are lined with BPA or bisphenol A. This chemical prevents the metal from corroding, but once inside the body, BPA behaves like an endocrine disruptor, interfering with your natural hormones. As we age, our hormone levels, especially estrogen and testosterone, already begin to decline. But BPA exposure accelerates that imbalance. It has been linked to fatigue, weight gain, mood changes, heart arrhythmias, even cognitive decline. In a 2020 study published in Environmental Research, adults with the highest levels of BPA in their blood had a 91% greater risk of heart disease than those with the lowest levels. And here's where it gets worse. Tomatoes are acidic. Their natural acidity causes BPA to leach even faster from the can lining directly into the sauce, soup, or stew you're preparing. So, with every spoonful of canned tomato sauce, you're not just getting flavor, you're getting a dose of hormone-disrupting chemicals your body was never meant to process. And it adds up fast, especially when you use canned tomato sauce for pasta. Mix canned tomatoes into soups or stews. Keep tomato paste in your pantry for convenience. Even small exposures repeated daily can burden your liver, confuse your hormones, and raise your blood pressure subtly but consistently. And then there's the salt. Canned tomatoes are often loaded with sodium. Just 1 cup of canned tomato sauce can contain over 500 milligrams of salt, a quarter of your daily limit. Too much sodium leads to fluid retention, blood pressure spikes, kidney strain, and increased risk of heart failure. For seniors already on heart or blood pressure medications, this is especially risky, because the damage isn't always felt immediately, but it builds day by day, dish by dish. You don't need to give up tomatoes. Just choose better sources. Fresh tomatoes, slice, roast, or stew yourself. Glass-jarred sauces, BPA-free and often lower in sodium. Boxed tomatoes. Some brands avoid chemical linings. Homemade sauces with olive oil, garlic, and herbs for flavor and heart support. And if you must use canned tomatoes, choose brands labeled BPA-free though. Even then, caution is wise. Always rinse canned contents to reduce sodium. Avoid tomato products that taste overly acidic or metallic, because after 60, your liver doesn't detox as efficiently. Your kidneys work harder, and your hormones are more vulnerable than ever. Every small exposure counts. And with canned tomatoes, the risk doesn't come from the tomato itself, but from the container, the salt, and the chemicals hiding inside. Now that you know the 4 vegetables that quietly harm your body after 60, let's shift toward hope. Because the next 4, they're not just safe, they're healing. Coming up, the 4 best vegetables to eat daily after 60 to strengthen your heart, boost your memory, and reclaim your energy. It doesn't get much attention. It's not trendy like kale or exotic like beets. You'll find it quietly sitting in the corner of coleslaw bowls or tucked into budget-friendly stir-fries. But make no mistake, purple cabbage is a powerhouse, and after 60, it may be one of the most overlooked protectors of your body, especially your heart, gut, and immune system. Its vibrant color is your first clue. The deep purple hue comes from compounds called anthocyanins, natural pigments that act like firefighters inside your bloodstream. Anthocyanins are potent antioxidants. They neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your cells and accelerate aging. But that's not all they do. In a 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors who consumed more anthocyanin-rich vegetables like purple cabbage had a 24% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who didn't. That's nearly a quarter less risk from a vegetable that costs under $1 and lasts weeks in the fridge. As we age, 3 things start to break down. Inflammation increases, digestion weakens, nutrient absorption drops. Purple cabbage addresses all 3. Anthocyanins reduce swelling in blood vessels and joints, easing pressure on the heart and lowering pain in areas like knees and hands. It's high in natural fiber and prebiotics, which feed the good bacteria in your digestive tract. That means less bloating, fewer infections, more efficient absorption of vitamins and minerals. A stronger gut leads to a stronger immune system, something every senior needs more of, not less. Like many vegetables, purple cabbage can lose its power when overcooked. So here's how to get the most benefit. Eat it raw in salads or coleslaw. Add it lightly steamed or stir-fried to preserve nutrients. Pair it with olive oil and apple cider vinegar. Both boost absorption and aid digestion. Want to go a step further? Add turmeric or garlic for extra anti-inflammatory impact. And the bonus, it's cheap, it stores well, and it brings a burst of color and healing to any plate. You won't see ads for purple cabbage. You won't hear about it in flashy health magazines. But that's the beauty of it. It's simple, honest, powerful, just like the kind of strength we all want after 60, quiet but unshakable. It's not everyone's favorite. Some shy away from it because of its slick gel-like texture. Others pass it over in the produce aisle without a second thought. But if you're over 60, okra might be the exact vegetable your body has been quietly asking for. Because inside those green pods lies a natural medicine for your blood sugar, your brain, and even your bones. At the heart of okra's power is something called mucilage, a soluble fiber that turns into a gel-like substance when cooked. It may not look appealing, but what it does inside your gut is remarkable. Mucilage slows down the absorption of sugar from the foods you eat. That means fewer blood sugar spikes, less strain on your pancreas, more balanced insulin levels throughout the day. In a 2021 study published in Food Science and Nutrition, people who consumed okra daily for just 8 weeks saw their fasting blood sugar drop by over 20%. That's a result you'd expect from medication, but it came from a vegetable with no side effects. Blood sugar stability doesn't just help your heart, it helps your mind. When your glucose levels swing wildly, your brain suffers. You might feel foggy, forgetful, easily tired after meals. Okra helps stabilize that mental rhythm by preventing sugar crashes that cloud your thinking. And it gets better. Okra is rich in quercetin and flavonoids, plant compounds known to fight oxidative stress in the brain. These antioxidants protect brain cells from damage, especially in areas tied to memory learning and focus. For seniors noticing early signs of mental fatigue, okra isn't just helpful, it may be essential. As we age, bone density naturally declines, falls become more dangerous, recovery takes longer. Okra contains vitamin K, critical for blood clotting and bone repair, folate, essential for red blood cell formation and energy metabolism, calcium and veggies, and magnesium, the building blocks of strong, stable bones. It's like a multivitamin grown on a vine. How to make it delicious? Yes, okra can be slimy, but with the right preparation you'll barely notice and may even come to enjoy it. Soak slices in vinegar for 30 minutes before cooking. Steam or lightly sauté to keep the nutrients and soften the texture. Roast in the oven with olive oil, garlic and sea salt for a crispy bite. Add to soups or stews where it thickens the broth naturally. And most importantly, keep it simple. Okra doesn't need much to do its work. It just needs a chance to show up on your plate. In a world full of superfoods with fancy names and high price tags, okra remains humble and affordable. But inside every pod is a quiet promise, more balance, better clarity, and stronger bones one bite at a time. It doesn't whisper, it shines, deep red, earthy sweet. A root that has nourished warriors, laborers, and healers for centuries. And now in the second half of life, beetroot may be the one food that brings your circulation memory and stamina back to life. Because inside every slice of beet is something truly rare. A natural way to relax your blood vessels, deliver more oxygen to your brain, and boost your energy without caffeine pills or side effects. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen. That stiffness creates resistance. Your heart works harder. Your blood pressure rises. Your hands feel colder. Your mind feels slower. But beetroot contains high levels of natural nitrates, compounds that convert into nitric oxide inside the body. Nitric oxide acts like a gentle muscle relaxer for your arteries. It tells your blood vessels, it's okay, open up, let it flow. In a 2019 study published in Hypertension Research, seniors who drank beetroot juice daily for just 4 weeks saw their systolic blood pressure drop by 11 points a shift. That can mean the difference between risk and recovery. Your brain isn't powered by magic, it's powered by blood. And beetroot helps send more oxygen-rich blood straight to your most vital center. In a 2017 study in the Journals of Gerontology, older adults who consumed beetroot before exercise had increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for memory, decision-making, focus, and awareness. So, if you've been feeling mentally sluggish, forgetful, or foggy, this ruby root may help clear the haze. Beetroot isn't just about blood flow, it's also packed with betalains, powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation, folate, which supports red blood cell production, manganese, important for metabolism and nutrient processing. That means less joint pain, less fatigue after activity, faster recovery after movement or stress. Beets don't just help you move, they help you move with strength. Beets can be enjoyed in a number of simple, delicious ways. Roasted, bring out their natural sweetness in the oven. Boiled or steamed, then tossed with lemon and olive oil. Blended into smoothies with apple and ginger. Pickled, for gut health and flavor beet juice, just make sure it's 100% pure with no added sugar. And if you're short on time, vacuum-packed cooked beets are available in many stores, prepped, peeled, and ready to go. Just slice and enjoy. Beetroot doesn't promise youth, but it offers something more practical and more powerful. Better blood flow, a clearer mind, more stable energy, and stronger resilience at any age. Next, we'll meet the final vegetable in this healing quartet, the one that nourishes your eyes, sharpens your memory, strengthens your bones, and protects your heart. Some call it trendy, some call it overhyped. But if you're over 60, kale is not just a superfood, it's a survival tool. Because hidden in these leafy greens is a shield, one that protects your eyes, your memory, your bones, and your heart, all at once. In a time when your body needs support more than ever, kale delivers it, leaf by leaf. As you age, your brain faces a quiet battle. Cells begin to lose efficiency. Inflammation increases. Cognitive processing slows down. But kale is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin carotenoids that protect the brain from oxidative stress, especially in the regions responsible for memory, focus, learning, visual processing. A 2020 study published in Neurology found that seniors with higher lutein and zeaxanthin levels experienced 32% slower cognitive decline. That's not just staying sharp, it's preserving independence. Lutein and zeaxanthin also shield your retina, helping prevent macular degeneration, a leading cause of blindness in older adults. If you've noticed blurry vision, difficulty with contrast, trouble seeing at night, kale's compounds might help preserve your sight and your confidence. Kale is loaded with potassium, balances sodium, lowers blood pressure. Magnesium, supports steady heart rhythms. Vitamin K reduces arterial calcification, hardening of the arteries. And here's a fact few people realize. Just 1 cup of kale provides over 600% of your daily vitamin K needs. That's not just a number, that's structural protection for your blood vessels, bones, and heart. Falls are one of the greatest health risks for older adults. But kale supports bone density, joint flexibility, nutrient absorption. Thanks to its high calcium and vitamin K content, kale strengthens the skeleton from the inside out. And unlike many supplements, your body knows how to absorb it. No guesswork, no risk of overdose, just real food, real benefit. Raw kale can be tough on the thyroid and difficult to digest in large amounts. Here's how to make it powerful and pleasant. Lightly saute in olive oil with garlic. Steam for 3 to 5 minutes to soften and activate nutrients. Add to soups and stews as a hearty green. Make kale chips, toss in olive oil, sprinkle. Sea salt, bake until crisp. Blend into smoothies with banana or pineapple for a nutrient-packed drink. And don't forget, a little goes a long way. It's not flashy. It doesn't come in a bottle. But kale is one of the most complete healing vegetables for people over 60. It's the shield your brain has been asking for, the support your bones quietly need, the quiet protector behind stronger hearts, steadier moods, and brighter eyes. You don't need a miracle. You need something reliable and real. You need kale. Now that you've discovered the 4 vegetables to avoid and the 4 that help you heal, let's bring it all together. You've heard the warning signs, and you've met the healing allies. 4 vegetables that quietly steal your strength, and 4 that help you rebuild it cell by cell, day by day. Let's take a breath and bring it all together. Corn, sweet but deceiving, spiking blood sugar and straining your heart. Potatoes, comforting yet dangerous when eaten too often or fried. Eggplant, elegant but inflammatory for joints and kidneys. Canned tomatoes, hidden chemical threats wrapped in red sauce. These aren't inherently evil foods, but in the second half of life they can quietly undo the progress your body is trying so hard to maintain. They rob energy, they spark pain, and they accelerate aging where you feel it most in your joints, your memory, your blood pressure. Purple cabbage cools inflammation and strengthens your gut. Okra balances blood sugar, nourishes your brain. Beetroot opens your arteries, boosts energy, clears the mind. Kale, the green shield for your memory bones and longevity. These are your daily defenders. They don't come with loud marketing or flashy labels, but they offer something much deeper long-term protection and renewal. And the best part, you don't need a prescription. You just need the will to learn, to swap, to care just a little more about what goes on your plate. You're not getting older, you're getting wiser. There's a quiet revolution happening, led by seniors who refuse to fade quietly. They move slower but more intentionally. They don't just eat to survive, they eat to strengthen. They don't chase trends, they choose what truly works. And that includes you. Every decision you make at the table is a vote for the kind of life you want to live tomorrow. Sharp or foggy, strong or stiff, empowered or slowly declining. Your plate decides. So tell us which vegetable surprised you the most today. Was it one you've been eating for years without knowing the damage? Or one you've ignored? That might now become your new daily ritual. Leave a comment below. Your story might help someone else begin their healing journey too. And if you found this helpful, if you want more truth, more tools, and more guidance that respects your age, your body, and your strength, then don't wait. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where we don't just help you live longer, we help you live better, with purpose, with clarity, and with power, starting with the next bite. Let's choose the foods that build you every single day. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.